Hello again and welcome to another demo, this time on installing GitLab on Ubuntu 2004. So in this demo we're going to just go through a real-time demo. We're going to go through the installation process. I'm going to cover off the prerequisites. Once installed we're going to sort of log in and take a quick look around, maybe create a project. So my environment I'm installing on a server I built in AWS. It's a T2 medium because you need the CPU and memory. That's the AMI ID I'm using. And all commands are going to be added to the description at the bottom of the video. So first up is documentation. So go to the install documentation. Everything we're going to do is pretty much here. There's a few extra little bits, but if you follow that, you'll be good to go. Okay, so let's start. All we're going to do is list some commands. It's not going to be anything too taxing, so we're just going to go through all the usual stuff. So before you do anything, always do an update. That refreshes all the repos, make sure you've got the latest available packages available. So like I say, real time, so for this section we just have to wait for it to run. So we do the upgrade as well. That will just take a moment, and once we've done the upgrade we're going to just run through a few commands. We're going to do some installs of some certain packages. We're going to add a couple of postfix settings. We're not actually going to be sending any emails or anything, but if you don't set them, then it won't like it when you try and install and set up GitLab. So that's at 65. .7. Nearly there. The only drawback of real time. Okay, it's almost about to finish. Okay, so now we're going to just install a couple of packages, just stuff that we need. Some of it is for this, other stuff like Git is we're going to need ourselves afterwards to be able to sort of do a clone from our repo. Okay, right, that doesn't take long. So now we're just going to do a couple of postfix settings. So all of these again are just going to put them all into the description of the video, so you can just cut and paste them straight out. And the second one. Okay, now we're going to do the postfix install. Okay, so once this is finished, we're then going to run a script from GitLab to set up the GitLab repository on our server. And that means we can get the latest version of GitLab installed. Okay, that's about to finish. Then the next thing, I'm just going to grab the IP address and put it into a variable called IP, and then we're going to echo that back, and you can see that there. And then we're going to use that $IP in the next command, because you have to set what the host name is of the server as part of the install. So there's an external URL variable, so we set that in the environment and that gets picked up on the install. If you happen to have a domain name or something like that, or an actual server name you want to add in, you can use that as well, but the IP address is the simplest for this demonstration. Okay, now this is the long bit. I have actually speeded this up because this took about 5 minutes, so I have actually whizzed through this. If you're watching this on your screen, it's not you, just pause the video, wait for me to catch up, and then we'll carry on. Okay, there's about another 30 seconds left of this slowed down, of a speeded up version. And it's almost there. Okay, so we now have GitLab installed. Fantastic, so let's go, grab the IP address from earlier, stick it in, open up any file ports you need to for port 80. And the first thing you have to do is you have to set a password. Like this is like the root user's password, so make it something hard, not easy to guess. And then the next thing you're prompted to do is to log in. So log in as the root user with the same password that you just entered. If you get it wrong, you're going to have to reinstall. If you can't get it, guess it. Okay, so now we're here. You can see, look around, so let's set up a new project, and yeah, we'll just see that. I'll just get that working for you. So let's call it new project, make it public. Okay, and that's just going to give us all of the basics. So you might have seen this before, but this is everything that we need to do to create a new project. So I'll do this on my server now. So clone it down, tell you it's empty, and then just follow through with the different commands. So yeah, cd into the directory, go back, cut and paste them. So create the readme file, add the readme file, then we're going to commit the readme file, and then we're going to push it back to the master. Okay, so it's added it, and then push it back. Okay, so I'll just log in. This is the same credentials I just used because I don't have any others. You can obviously set up other users. Okay, so now if we go back and refresh the page, we'll see that there is an empty readme file there. So what we can do now, if we edit this in GitLab, just as for example, say you shouldn't normally do this, write something in, save it and commit that, and then go back to the command line and just do git pull and see what we get. Okay, cut the file and you're done. So now anything you update, you can add it, commit it, push it back, and you're there, you're good to go. So don't forget to subscribe. This is just a simple process. I'm going to be using this again in some CI/CD work I'm doing with Jenkins and a CI/CD process for a web server. So yeah, see you in the next video.